North of Wahpeton around 5 p.m. Kelsey sent this photo in of a funnel cloud that may be reaching all the way to the ground and thus becoming a tornado there near the Wahpeton area. And then another photo from the Wahpeton area. This was from around 5:15 or so, also near the Wahpeton area. Dewey sent this one to us. This one is not reaching all the way to the ground. It doesn't appear to be, but you can see that funnel cloud there very well defined in the foreground of that photo. Also with these storms occurring, lots of lightning and thunder. Take a look at this picture from Fergus Falls. Spencer shared this one of a lightning strike cloud to ground. And again, a lot of lightning still ongoing with this line as it's making its way northward. Then earlier this afternoon, near the Sturm area, I believe is how you pronounce that, Sturm, North Dakota, John shared this photo of a tornado that is indeed reaching all the way to the ground. We did see some debris, little debris cloud, dust cloud there on the bottom end of this funnel cloud, which does mean that that is in contact with the ground, and thus a tornado there near the Sturm area. This one of that same tornado from the Crete area. So those Crete and Sturm are very close to each other toward the west of Gwinner. But you can see there's the funnel cloud there. And this one, you can't see if it's reaching all the way to the ground, but we know this one was indeed in contact with the ground over periods of its lifespan. You can see this is from Cindy there from Highway 13 in near Crete. So of course, thanks everyone for the photos. Keep them coming, of course, if you can see something and take a picture safely as these storms are making their way northward. So we see up toward the north, Devil's Lake, up toward the northern valley, no concerns for you. Rainfall at this time, so have the umbrella ready. Get the windshield wipers, ready as well, because it's going to be soggy for you folks in our North Dakota neighborhoods. But where we're seeing the most activity is along the I-94 corridor at this hour. Notice from, say, north of Valley City into portions of northern Barnes County, into portions of Griggs and Steele counties, also seeing some thunderstorm activity. And anywhere along this line of storms that basically follows the I-94 corridor almost exactly, could see a funnel cloud or a spin-up tornado. A landspout tornado could also be occurring there along this line, as there is just so much spin in the atmosphere as that these storms are moving into, as this low pressure system continues to churn its way through our region. So a close look, you can see in Fargo, Moorhead, there's a storm moving through at this hour. Not severe at this time, so there's some lightning, some thunder, and some brief heavy downpours as it's making its way through the metro, but that includes portions of Lakes Country as well, where we're seeing most of the activity there near Amenia, seeing that heavy rainfall heading toward the Hunter area and heading north toward Georgetown. Again, not severe, but you will be getting some wind, some rain, some lightning with this. And again, I can't stress enough, the funnel cloud or a spin-up tornado is still possible along this line, making its way north out of the metro. Same goes for you folks across Lakes Country. Holly seeing that rainfall at this time. Audubon, Lake Park seeing that rainfall picking up here in the not too distant future. In Detroit Lakes, the first alert for you folks that the rain is about to get heavier and the wind is about to pick up there in your neck of the woods. And of course, watching also for our friends in Frazee and Perm, could see a landspout or a funnel cloud in these areas as well. So there's the big picture of what we're watching. These are moving northward into an area of good instability at this time, and also that spin in the atmosphere. So still could see some hail in some along this line of thunderstorms, as well as those gusty winds. But up toward the north, I can't stress that enough either, that's just good old-fashioned soaking rain for you folks across the Devil's Lake Basin and in portions of far northern Minnesota. The best chance of those severe storms, of course, will be mainly south of Highway 200. So for our friends in Grand Forks, still could see a thunderstorm, but that spin in the atmosphere, the instability, is mainly south of Highway 200. So even for our friends in Sisseton along the South Coast State Line, Lisbon, Ellendale, I think your threat for severe weather today is done. This is moving away from you, and the area has been stabilized by those storms that, of course, went through earlier this evening. So now up toward Ada, and even portions toward Foston could see perhaps a severe storm, but it's a marginal risk, a level 1 out of 5 on the severe weather risk scale. And of course, we'll keep watch on this very, very carefully as we continue through this evening. Here's our Luther Family Ford Skycam. Notice the wet parking lot there, the water on the roof of the dealership. That storm just moved through the South Fargo and is now pushing its way toward the north and east of the metro. But in Fargo, with that system that has just passed through, wind is still out of the southeast around 14 miles per hour. And of course, because it is actively raining, still seeing that humidity around 87%. But notice that that pressure is falling rapidly because the low pressure system is basically moving right over Fargo here very soon. So you can see temperatures there in the 50s for most everybody across the Devil's Lake Basin. Still seeing some upper 50s across portions of Lakes Country, but we're seeing cool temperatures for us there at this hour. So here's how things look for the rest of this evening. Notice that red you see there, that's that atmospheric instability we've been watching these storms running into, and thus keeping them sustained. So notice as that line continues to push its way northward, that chance of those storms move up toward the Gary area. And even Grand Forks may still see a storm, but it looks to really fall apart once we get past sunset and we lose that instability in the atmosphere. So by, say, 7:30 a.m. tomorrow, looks like the rainfall is pretty much done for the most part, but we'll see some strong westerly winds with us. And look at some of those temperatures out toward the Harvey area, 38 degrees, that air temperature there. By the time we get to, say, 7:30 a.m. 40s for most everybody else, though, to get us going, and maybe still some lingering showers here or there for our Thursday morning. They're wrapping around the back end of this low pressure system. So for tonight, as we get past sunset, that chance of severe storm really does dwindle, but of course we'll keep our eyes on this very carefully. And for Thursday, high temperatures there, maybe working into the 50s, but most of us will stay in the 40s for a good chunk of the day for our Thursday, with that strong westerly wind gusting at times 40 miles per hour or greater there, as that low pressure system continues to churn its way out of our neck of the woods. So here's how things look, of course, after today. Notice that we still could see some wind and showers, mainly off toward the north on Thursday. Friday, we're staying cool. Could be some patchy frost in the morning, but clouds and wind speed will have an effect on that. With lighter wind and clear skies for Saturday morning, a better chance of more widespread frost and perhaps a hard freeze in some spots. And then cool temperatures continue, of course, into next week. But the good news is early next week things